Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a ranked ladder game between KilJardi and Wham. The map is Hillandale, and we will have spawning in on the right side Wham as the color yellow with the Mongols, and to the left it is KilJardi with the Malians in teal. Hillandale, it's a map which spawns and is played very frequently in ranked ladder games nowadays. In fact, I've seen some feedback on forums, Reddit, other places as well, that players claim Hillandale is basically the map that they get in 80% of their games. I do not know if this is by design. I would actually be surprised if it was. But for whatever reason, the ladder seems to be very heavily biased towards Hillandale right now. I don't necessarily mind it because I personally like the map, but a lot of players don't, so hopefully there will be some changes in that regard because a lot of players are upset about the fact that they have to play Hillandale non-stop. Malians versus Mongols, it's a tricky matchup. It's one of those matchups where you know what's going to happen, but a lot comes down to execution. By the way, small little detail, you see the Scouting Falcon deployed over here by Wham. He's going to have perfect vision on the base of his opponent. In fact, if we switch POVs, you see this is what Wham sees. Wham's got perfect vision on the TC. It's not like he needs this information right away, but it's never a bad thing to have insight into what your opponent might be up to. The other thing to consider is that as he deploys the Falcon, he sees if there were any lumberjacks sent to straggler trees or even forests. This is an important piece of info because when you play Mongols against the Malians, you try to pressure the pit mines with your spears. Speaking of which, looks like we have no pit mine coming up here from KilJardi. This is not a conventional Malian start. So, here's the thing. When you play Mongols into Malians, you will pressure the pit mines. So, oftentimes, the Malian player responds with Donzos in Dark Age to hold you off. Alternative is that you just let it go, but it's not really a good thing, especially against the Mongols, because every single house they set on fire, they will get a bounty for it. So, especially against the Mongols, it's not uncommon for a Malian player to play into Donzos, and when they do that, it's obviously going to be more challenging for the Mongol player to contest the pit mine. So, deploying the Falcon over here gives info for Wham in terms of whether KilJardi wants to go for that early barracks to defend the pit mine with or not. Mansakwari is going to be the landmark of choice here for KilJardi as he's aging up to feudal. First two spearmen arrive. Looks like we do have a villager pulled as well. There's a mining camp. You could see the Khan firing an arrow just to make sure that it cannot be destroyed so that Wham is going to get the bounty when he sets this on fire, or if he sets this on fire, that's going to be an aggressive tower coming up. And this is a little concerning if you're KilJardi. You look at this map, he doesn't really have a lot of gold to work with. The second safest gold for him, realistically, is this one up north. This is awful. And Malians without the passive gold income are rather feeble, actually. You won't be able to sustain the production of cattle, you won't have that crazy passive resource income, and all the power that you had with the Malians would just disappear in an instant. So, losing this gold mine would be kind of detrimental to KilJardi's chances in this game, and there will be two more spearmen arriving here to just continue to aggress this location, make sure that this tower goes up. Mansakwari will go up and you will get the gold trickle from that, but that is not going to compensate for you losing access to the pit mine. You see, where else could KilJardi go? He could go here, but this is all the way out there. It's also going to be spotted by a tower if he does that. This is realistically the second safest spot for him. Wham is going to go up to Feudal Age just now, and he wants to go up with the Silver Tree. Maybe some trade shenanigans could come into play here. Considering that KilJardi will first need to clean up this aggression inside his base, we could see Wham get away with some trade, especially knowing that Wham knows about this archer range. He has just spotted this, so he knows that it's not going to be instant cavalry from his opponent. Means that it's much more viable to play into the trade initially. Now, there's a market to the north that he could utilize, but he's going to have to be cautious with those traders because, obviously, once cavalry comes out for KilJardi, it's going to be difficult to defend. Archer out there. You see, one spearman was left out there just to make sure that you can torch down this mining camp. The tower itself doesn't do a tremendous amount of damage, so you want this spearman out there. And this archer is just chilling. This is actually bad for KilJardi. If he gets closer, the tower is gonna kill the archer. You see the range on it. But if he stays out here, he's not killing the spearman, and that gives the bounty to Wham. Wham has gotten bounty for the house being torched down, and he also got the bounty for the mining camp. KilJardi, without basically any safe gold, aside from what he has from the Mansa Quarry, which is 75 per minute. This is such a good start here for Wham. And this is why, as I mentioned, oftentimes against Mongols, you see the Malians play into the Donsos, just to make sure that they can repel that initial aggression with the spears. Looks like it's going to be good old-fashioned Donso archer play here. There is going to be a counterattack launched, but I do not know how much these archers can accomplish. You see, this town center is very well positioned from a defensive standpoint for Wham. It's going to have a lot of vision provided over here. Well, excluding this back area of the wood line, but that might be just kind of fixed with the tower here. Although we might have a second TC coming up for Wham, actually. He's stacking up a lot of wood. But anyway, there is this town center here that's going to provide a lot of cover fire. You have a stable for 2 Keshiks coming out. These are actually Keshiks. When you double produce them, it says Lancers, but they will be Keshiks. So Wham is sitting at 500 wood. We could see some pastures being dropped. He doesn't have a lot of sheep to work with. Some of that wood could be converted into traders as well. But I have a gut feeling that when you're stacking up this much, it's gonna be for a second TC. It would be a greedy play, trade plus 2 TCs. But especially if you slow down your Malian opponent like this, it might pay off. Here come the archers and the Donsos. They nicely evade the TC fire. This is some good vision over here for KilJardi. He has had his scout stationed nearby, so he knew fully well where the TC was. He just evaded that. He's gonna swing to the south. He is going to push away the gold miners. But behind this, Wham is building up archers, he's building up Kashik. And these reinforcements aren't looking super shiny right now for KilJardi. He's only got a handful of Donsos over here and some archers. In fact, it's only 2 Donsos. If those get picked off, the archers get cleaned up by the Kashik. Now it looks like Wham has no desire to fight that. He is instead going to counterattack. Will run into a lot of Donsos if he does that. But there is a silver tree. The lack of deer stones inside the base of Wham kind of tells KilJardi that this was a Silver Tree feudal age. I would not be shocked if he tried poking around this area at some point, see if he can intercept some traders. And it looks like now Wham will go for the cleanup. He's got 3 archers. He's likely willing to sacrifice those, trade them off for the Donsos, because once the Donsos go down, these archers are just a free prey for the Keshik. On the other side, we have a lot more Donsos coming in for KilJardi. If he can group up these 2 armies, Wham won't be able to take a good fight. Here comes the flank. Archers now moving in. Nice picks. You see the Donsos trying to close the distance to the Kashik. Wham doing his best to focus them down. KilJardi down to just 1 more Donso. And this is the problem, you see. Donso's gone. The Kashiks will even heal back up now that they're fighting. They pick off the scout. At least KilJardi gets to save the archers. He picked off the Khan as well, which is decent value. Lost the Donsos. Didn't lose the archers, though. That's the key thing. So, he's still in this. He's got 10 archers, 5 Donsos. The numbers are steadily climbing. Looks like Wham has no immediate desire to trade. He also spent most of his wood somewhere. Yeah, there's the second TC. All right. For a moment, I was confused, and I was like, oh, did I just say something completely stupid about the second TC? But no. Seems like I was right. There's the second TC. It's going to be probably here on the hunt. It's a great spot to expand towards. I don't really see anywhere else where he could go. Yeah, he's going to place it on the hunt. Tower is going to get finally cleaned up here as KilJardi gets his gold back, but you see the delay that was caused by this tower from Wham is immense. KilJardi was sitting on 75 gold per minute for the last 5 minutes or so. And that is terrible with the Malians. He's yet to drop a single pit mine. In fact, Wham swung to the north, probing this gold mine. This wasn't an attempt to swing in from this side and harass the eco. He just wanted to test this gold mine. In these scenarios where KilJardi is deprived of this gold, his opponent needs to probe these gold mines. Needs to see if KilJardi is getting gold from somewhere else. And if he does, chances are that you will find a lot of exposed villagers. So this was a good move from Wham. Didn't find a lot of wills. So right now, Wham is fairly certain that his opponent hasn't been mining gold for the last 5 minutes or so. Here comes the push from KilJardi. He's up to 9 Donsos. His army is looking a lot healthier than what his opponent has, and you see defensive tower will be denied. Archers now creeping up as well. No blacksmith upgrades on either side, but the Kashyyyk are also missing from the playing field. Archers will start to trade off against each other. Villagers have to be pulled to the other wood line. Some good aggression here. An emergency tower now coming in here for Wham. Villagers on the hunt, exposed, being chased by sofas. Army has to be committed over here for Wham, otherwise he is going to start losing wills, he is going to start losing those traders. Some good pickups coming up here for the archers as they try to cut off the villagers' retreat. Trader goes down, villagers go down as well. In the meantime, it looks like at least one sofa, possibly two, got picked off close to the TC. But KilJardi is doing some decent damage. He's about to find the second TC here as well. Right now, eco count is dead even, but KilJardi's got a lot more promising of an army. He's still not playing pit mines, though. Instead, he's going into Castle Age with the Farimba Garrison. When was the last time that you've seen Malians play without pit mines? That's gonna be a great title for this video, I must say. Here's another trader. KilJardi spotted one trader, so now he knows that there is trade. He wants to shut it down, and he does just that. Here comes the counterattack, though, and the Farimba Garrison does get cancelled. A lot of time lost over there for KilJardi. This landmark was finished to like a 50 or 60% extent. He had to cancel it, rebuild it from scratch. He had to do it, otherwise the Kashyyyk massacred the villagers. Also means that Wham spotted the landmark, so now he knows what's up. He's gonna have a window to jump on lumberjacks here. Villagers have to scramble back to the TC. No villagers picked so far. Donsos will be sent out to respond to this. There is still this army, but it's not really doing much. Wham isn't really getting punished for the fact that he was outnumbered on the army department. Best place to punish would be on the wood line, though. Thing is that if you look at KilJardi, he cannot really pressure this town center. There is enough space for most of the vills here. There is not much here on the gold, not much here on the hunt. And it looks like it will remain like that. Castle Age is in for KilJardi. He's gonna play into the archer production using the Farimba Garrison. Here comes the Kashyyyk as well. He's gonna get pushed away from his gold mine. Now, poison arrows is the direction that he needs to be heading towards. He's got a lot of archers. Poison arrows is one of the most valuable techs in the entire game. He needs to pick that tech up. It's going to take a long time. It's a 130 upgrade. Compare that to, let's say, a veterancy, which is only 30 seconds. It's also a very pricey upgrade, but if he gets that, his army is going to be a lot better than what Wham has. Problem is that he's got no defense here on the gold mine. This army is just running circles, and it's not really doing much. It's going to get held back possibly by this tower. There are a handful of Donsos that could commit against the tower, though, and it looks like he will. He's going to charge on the villagers under the tower. Villagers will flee back to the TC. A couple of villagers got picked, but no crazy damage done on Wham. And on the other side, he's torching down buildings. Every single building he destroys, don't forget, it's gonna give him resources. Another attempt to harass the lumberjacks. This is a good use of the line of sight here, provided by the Donsos. You get the line of sight on the entire wood line, and you fire from the back line with the archers. You still need to clean this up if you're KilJardi, though. Now he's got a handful of veteran archers back there, but no poison arrows still. Donsos are slowly getting cleaned up here from the front line, which means that these archers are getting more and more exposed to the Kashyyyk, something that's worth monitoring for the next few minutes. Numbers now looking dead even. Wham is pushing his opponent back in here. Once again, villagers will be forced away from the gold mine, and this is where the Farimba Garrison gets very feeble. You can mass-produce these units, but you do not have the gold for it. That's a huge issue right now for KilJardi. He's basically reliant on this Mansa Quarry to provide him the gold he needs for the Farimba garrison. But you see, he needs 360 gold for a batch of archers when he makes 75 per minute from the Mansa Quarry. It just takes too much time. And Wham is aware of this. He has one Kashyyyk positioned on this gold vein. He knows fully well that KilJardi has not expanded anywhere else. Looks like a fight close to the gold mine. Some good villager pickups as well for Wham over here. Behind this, he's got a lot of idle time as well. He's got 30 idols for a brief moment. But he's happy with his position. He's shutting down the gold of the Malian player, which is probably the single most valuable thing you can do in this matchup. A mosque is being brought in here. Actually, double mosques by KilJardi. He's getting desperate for gold, I have that feeling. He feels like he needs to rush out for all the relics. He's so deprived of gold, and look at Wham. I didn't even notice this, these little yellow dots going through the yellowish stealth forest on the minimap. But he decided to swing south to do the trade. He realized that his opponent isn't pressuring this side, and he can get away with some decent trade, and he does that. It's a lovely spot for him to be in. Stone now heavily committed towards by KilJardi. He wants a keep. It remains to be seen whether this keep is going to be for defensive purposes and to drag the game out, or whether he feels that his army in Castle Age against the Feudal Age opponent is enough to set him up for a forward keep. I feel like, given how heavily committed he is to the stone, and given that he is still Castle Age against the Feudal Age opponent, I think he's going to try a forward keep. A lot of gold income from Wham now from the trade. He's up to 400 per minute. But now with the pit mine out there, villagers sent out as well, you finally see... Yeah, look at that. There is siege engineering coming in for KilJardi. That's a clear sign that he wants to play aggressive. So that castle is likely going to be an aggressive one as well. Now he's up to 600, 700, 800 per minute. Thanks to the gold vein that's now being mined. There's a pit mine on it. There are 2 mosques, so he could start moving out towards the relics. But he's yet to make a single one of these imams. On the other side, Wham is booming away. He's got 2 TCs, he's got trade going on, but there is the keep coming in from KilJardi. I do not know if Wham has enough to stop this. This is only Feudal Age archers. Granted, they do have blacksmith upgrades, and those blacksmith upgrades are actually missing for KilJardi. But if this keep goes up, this TC and the whole base actually has to relocate. I would have loved to see a little bit more commitment from KilJardi. It sounds awkward when you only have 52 vills, but I feel like this castle is his lifeline into this game. I probably would have preferred him pulling a few more villagers, because this needs to go up. If this keep doesn't go up, it's likely game over for him. Here comes the battering ram, will destroy the tower. There's the keep as well. Archers will be pulled, and if you're Wham, you probably focus the archers. You just want to stop this keep. You focus the vills, that's what I wanted to say, not the archers. You need to stop the keep. Destroying this army is not something that you want to commit to right now, you still being in Feudal Age, but it looks like KilJardi will do the right thing. He is going to push up with the archers, prevent the ones from Wham to focus down the villagers, but here come the Kashyyyk from the other side. This is what Wham was setting up. He pulled the archers to the front, now the Kashyyyk move in, and it's only 5 villagers that remain on this construction site. Tower Fire, TC Fire helping out as well. Archers without poison arrows, they will struggle to clean up the Kashyyyk, and you see Wham, all he wants to do is pick off those villagers. He does not want to let this keep go up. It's getting awfully close to completion, but the villager numbers are also being depleted. Archers are stalling this one out, and the Kashyyyk are cleaning up the archers on the other side. Only a handful of villagers remain, and there is no other villagers being pulled. No more vills coming in here for KilJardi. This keep is stalling out, folks. Or is it? Archers are gone from Wham. For a moment, it seemed like he was going to stop it, but now KilJardi, with just 3 villagers remaining on this construction site, he might just finish it. This is why I said that I feel like he needed more vills here. This got awfully close. If Wham had just a couple more archers, these villagers wouldn't have made it. In fact, it's only 2 villagers that remain. TC Fire also helped a lot. He could have actually tried repositioning the TC, such that he can focus the vills. Castle, very close to completion. Archers will try to focus this. I feel like I've caster cursed this both ways now. Oh, you need 5 more vills if you're KilJardi. That keep is his lifeline into this game. He's fighting this with archers. He is still yet to get poison arrows, which is getting alarmingly problematic here. And you see he's trying to get this keep going, but Wham constantly pushes up with the archers, and he's just trying to push away those vills. Keep very close to completion, though. Wham has made a monstrous stand over here, but he wasn't able to prevent the keep from going up. It is completed, and now this is a strong point for KilJardi to build from. He lost a lot of eco building this, but he's got crazy momentum. He's still Castle Age against Feudal Age. He's got triple the army, and he's got a great forward position over here. He doesn't have stone for a second keep, however. Excuse me? What am I looking at? Well, I'm probably looking at him trying to balance his eco, and this was the first place where he could drop the market. But it looks very awkward for a Malian player to block all these spots for houses on a pit mine spot. Speaking of which, he's still not playing into pit mines. There is this one only, but that's basically it. He also hasn't shut down the trade on the right side. Only thing that's doing that is that one wolf. DC has been rebuilt to the back line by Wham. He is slowly stacking up resources. He's got this little safe haven over here that allows him to get a lot of wood, balance his eco. I would love to see some more pastures. As I say that, he drops them. He had a lot of wood, and he was lacking food for Castle Age, so it made sense to do that. He's going to sacrifice the Ovu. He needs to be cautious not to lose the production buildings. If he gets to Castle Age, he can easily fight this off. In Feudal Age, it's a little bit more challenging. But if you lose your production buildings, it's going to get extremely difficult. I'm actually wondering if KilJardi knows about the trade. He saw the silver tree before, but he thinks he shut down the trade to the north, doesn't even realize that there is trade going on here on the eastern flank. And this is giving a lot of gold here for Wham. Army numbers getting closer now. Some more Keshiks are being mixed in. Poison arrows finally on the way here for KilJardi, but this is a tech that takes a lot of time to research, and that timing advantage could spell disaster for KilJardi. If Wham uses this very late timing for the poison arrows, takes a fight before they hit, these archers are all getting cleaned up. If this tech finishes, these will massacre the Keshik. Essentially, this game could be decided based on whether this tech finishes before a fight happens or not. Here come the battering rams. I'm somewhat puzzled about KilJardi pushing this. I feel like he really needs the poison arrows tech. He could have waited like 30 more seconds. He is on a timer, so he knows that he needs to push this one, but I feel like he really needs this tech because you do not want to fight against heavily armored targets like the Keshik without the poison arrows. You see, here's the swing to the south, no more Dansos remain, and with the Khan also popping the movement arrow, the archers are getting close. This is where the poison arrows, or the lack thereof, are just so problematic for KilJardi. He needed that to destroy the Keshik. And with the Keshik still alive, the archers will just focus down the ones from KilJardi from the back line. It's a cleanup, and indeed what we are seeing is this battle being decided by poison arrows just coming too late. Puzzling decision from KilJardi to dive in before the tech finishes. He was on a timer, but I feel like he could have and probably should have waited 30 more seconds so that the tech is getting close to completion before taking that fight. It's a very tricky choice for him. If he waits too long, his opponent gets a chance to get to Castle Age. Remember, he doesn't see that Wham is not really stacking up resources for that. But still, that tech was a must-have for the battle that he was about to undertake. Now he's trying to raid with some sofas. This is actually a beautiful move from Wham. I'm not sure if this is just a leftover from previous trade, or this is a straight-up diversion. But it's very possible that he's using these traders to make KilJardi believe that this is all the trade he has. KilJardi is raiding here, he sees the traders. He doesn't even think about the possibility about trade being down here to the south. I'm not certain about this, but one thing is for sure. KilJardi is yet to probe this eastern side for trade. And if you think about it, in his position, this is the safe position for Wham to trade with. He sees a couple of traders. What does he think? He likely thinks that Wham only has a few traders. Little does he know that there is a lot more on the east. And that's actually the lifeline of Wham. That's the thing that propels him to now 109 eco against only 32 from KilJardi. KilJardi's eco is abysmal. He doesn't even have a lot of pit mines to work with. He's working on berries for food. He's trying to push into this one. That's a lot of sofas. I don't think they have imported armor, though. And we can check on that for a sec. Imported armor. Yeah, imported armor is missing, which would be very helpful in this fight. Poison arrows are now good, and you see they will just massacre the Kashyyyk now. Problem is that you simply no longer have the numbers if you're KilJardi. You will get some villager kills here, which is nice, but your rams will be repelled. And at the end of the day, you're sitting at 51 population against 144. Masterclass of a defense by Wham, especially when it comes to concealing the trade that he has had. That's one of the more remarkable things in this game, as the GG gets called. You had Wham with a functional trade going on the east. That was a very strong trade, and it never got probed by KilJardi, partly because KilJardi never realized that it was there. It's obviously a tricky thing to do. There are a lot of things to focus on for players. Oftentimes, you have split seconds to make decisions, but he definitely did not probe the trade on the east, and that's part of the reason why Wham was able to maintain a good economy despite under heavy pressure from that keep, from the Rams. And of course, delaying the Malian player into getting to the pit mines, delaying the use of that Frimba garrison by shutting down the gold was also immensely valuable for Wham.